Hey guys, this isn't a fan video or an alarm video or anything. This is something that's completely irrelevant. What this is I don't know if you probably all know that I have an interest in, you know, old fans and old smoke alarms and fire alarm systems and stuff like that. But I bet you probably never knew that I also have an interest in lawn sprinklers. And so these are just a few of the sprinklers that I've been collecting over the years. I have them basically put out in no real order, so I guess I'll just start at the top left like I usually do. So this one right here, sorry once again, the quality of this video is not going to be great because the color, I'm using my phone and my phone washes out the color for some reason. Because I don't have my iPad anymore because it was the school's iPad and I had to give it back for the summer. So this one right here is a Nelson rotating sprinkler. It's one of the better quality metal ones. I think they made plastic ones too, but this is one of the metal ones, so it's really nice quality. It's got the wheels on it so you can roll it along the yard, and the brass fitting on here. It's got the 3 arms that have the nozzles that are pointing out at different directions, like that one's vertical, and this one's horizontal. These two are both kind of horizontal. And then it's got the sprayer in the middle there, and it rotates around in this direction just to spread it rotates about at this speed or so, maybe a little faster than that, but it doesn't go very fast because it's metal. And there's the Nelson logo right there. This right here is a Nelson plastic impulse head. This head actually came off of a Nelson plastic impulse sprinkler that was on a metal spike base. However, the spike base broke, and actually this head is a little bit messed up. For one thing, the diffuser screw is missing from right there. I lost that several years ago in the front yard. And another thing is that the nozzle is missing as well. As you can see, there should be a nozzle right there, but it went missing. It literally flew off one time while I had it running, and I never found it. So this is just basically a parts sprinkler, spare parts. This right here is a Unbranded Nelson plastic impulse sprinkler knockoff. I'm not quite sure who made it, but it's got all of its parts and everything. I actually got this one pretty recently from my grandma. She doesn't like these types. She likes the oscillating types. But I like these types, so I said, you know, I'll take it. But it's got all of its parts. It's got the diffuser pin right there and the nozzle. That's what that one, hang on, let me put this down. That nozzle right there is a little bit different than the one that would be on this Nelson. Yeah, right there. The nozzle, it's a little bit different than this one. And it's got a conventional spoon on as well. So then right here I have 2 ring sprinklers. This one here is a newer one, and it's got 3 rows of sprayers. This one's an older one. It's only got 2 rows. It's blue, this one's green. So the green one actually got from my aunt a while ago. It was a birthday present, and this blue one actually came with our house when we bought it. It was in the shed. And it used to have a washer in there that was the same color, but that went missing several years ago as well. So these 2 sprinklers, they both perform very similarly. This one's got a little bit more coverage, but this one's got more distance because of it's only got 2 rows, but this one's got more coverage because it's got those extra holes. Over here we've got a Nelson, hang on, my phone doesn't want to focus. Anyway, we've got a Nelson QuickSet turbo-oscillating sprinkler. This one's an old one. I got this one at the Goodwill, not the Goodwill I usually go to, but this was from the newer Goodwill. It came with 2 other sprinklers that I'll get into. Well, one of the sprinklers was a Nelson Beta 2, or Beta 2, I think that's how it's pronounced. Plastic impulse sprinkler that unfortunately broke. It got run over by a car. But anyway, this one is, I used to have one just like this when I was little. It actually came with the house when we moved in, along with this ring. But unfortunately, one day while it was operating, I held the arm here too long, and I heard a loud thunk come from the gearbox, and all of a sudden it stopped working. So we threw that one away a while ago. But this one works perfectly fine on all settings. It's got the pinch set connectors here and the flow regulator. So yeah, and the width diffuser thingies here. So that's that one. It's a really nice sprinkler. I use this one out front sometimes to water like the entire big area of grass. So then right here is a unbranded, I think it might be Nelson. The only reason I say that is because it's yellow. It's one of them like watering. It's not really a sprinkler, it's more like a hose attachment. But I use this to water like new grass because it's really good and gentle. It's got all those holes on the front there. And it used to have a metal stake right there, but that broke off several years ago. Right here is a Nelson plastic impulse sprinkler on a stand. It's identical to this one. And this one has some troubles. When it's in when it's turning clockwise, it'll work fine. But when it goes back to return counterclockwise, it sometimes gets stuck. And I'm not sure the reason for that. I tried cleaning it, I tried doing so much, but... So basically we really use this one generally for only like 360 degree applications and in the clockwise direction. But the trigger mechanism does work, so that's a good thing. Right here, sorry about the shakiness once again. Here's a Nelson Select-A-Spray. This one bought from Home Depot a while ago. I think around the same time we bought this one. This one used to have a yellow ring around it, but that broke off. No washer anymore. Washer went missing, but it does work on all the settings. I have it set on the square setting because that's the most useful setting. And it's also the triangular setting and the quarter circle setting are also pretty useful. The shower setting on the outside is not very useful because it only goes about that high and doesn't water very much, but you know. So then this big one right here, this flower-shaped one, is a sort of like kids' fun sprinkler or whatever. I don't even know who made it. I only used it, I think, once because the stake broke and the hose, it's so cheap that the fitting is too small to fit on the hose. So I did all sorts of stuff there. So yeah, pretty cheap, but it kind of works when you want it to. This one right here is my pride and joy of my sprinkler collection. This is the Melnor Metal Impulse Sprinkler. I call this one the Taiwan Sprinkler because it says Taiwan on the end of the arm, and that was before I knew what brand it was, or before I had remembered what brand it was, because I got this one new at Home Depot a long time ago. And the reason why I didn't know what brand it was because my neighbors, those people over there, well, the people who used to live at that house and the people who live in the court down that way, they each had one of these. Well, actually, the people who lived in the court had two of them, of these. And what happened was the stand of theirs broke. My dad actually dropped it when I was using it in my yard because I loved it so much they let me borrow it. So sorry about that, I have a cold. Anyway, so they had one. Theirs was also missing the diffuser screw. But the ones that the neighbors in the court had, those were the biggest childhood ones that I remember. They had two of them. They used them all the time, but they got rid of them when they got their new in-ground sprinkler system a few years ago. Haven't seen them since then, so they might still have them somewhere, I don't know, but I have not seen them. So this one, my mom dropped it, broke the thing off of the base here, but luckily I glued it back on with some epoxy and some just really heavy-duty hot glue, and it's held up pretty well. It used to have a black plastic ring that covered this portion. There's a metal weight inside it. It is a little bit broken. There's a section broken off of the base right here, but that's no big deal. It's nothing compared to my neighbors. Theirs had like the entire like side broken off and one of these things broken off. It was a mess. And this one has the diffuser screw. My phone's almost out of battery, so I'll make this quick. But yeah, it works perfectly fine. The nozzle had a bit of an issue when I first got it out this summer. The nozzle was a little bit broken, but I was able to fix that. So yeah. Right here is a cheap little dollar store Select-A-Spray. This one works. I actually used it yesterday. It works, but it doesn't really, the the fitting is too small to fit on the hose, so it fits, but it just barely fits. And it's got a broken piece here, so you can't use the outside shower setting. Got a little bit of broken piece on the base there, but other than that, all the other settings work fine, and I use this one, believe it or not, more than I use the Nelson one, which is really strange because this one's all metal and this one's all cheap and plastic and broken. Right here we have a companion sold by Sears plastic impulse sprinkler. This one's basically, again, a rebrand of the Nelson. Only difference is that the trigger stops here a little bit different, and the arm counterweight here is slightly different. The Nelson's got a circular counterweight. This one's got a triangular, flat-ended counterweight. So it's got the diffuser pin in it and everything. Nozzle, it works and everything. It's faded, but it used to say companion right there with the logo. You can kind of see it just a little bit. It used to say it, but you know, not anymore. But it works. It's a good sprinkler. I use it sometimes in the front yard. This one here is a Melnor. Oh yeah, by the way, this one came from my grandma. She actually bought it in Rehoboth Beach a long time ago because she needed one to water her yard, and we got one in Rehoboth Beach to test out, kind of. And my grandma, she kind of liked it, so she took it home with her, but then when she found out she didn't like it, she gave me it. I think she gave me it 2 summers ago, or was it last summer? No, it was 2 summers ago. This one here is a Melnor turbo-rotary sprinkler on a sled base. This one works, though it has some issues. I mean, the gears and everything work. It's got some issues. When you have it, it's got 3 different settings. It's got long, medium, and mist. I use it on the long setting, except when you have it on one setting, it'll still spray a little bit of water out of each of the other settings and down here. So I think it's like missing a washer or something. I did try to take it apart once, but that didn't go out. That didn't go very well. It's got all its parts, though. It's got the end cap there, the original end cap. This one came with the house as well as the blue ring and that thing and the old Nelson QuickSet that we used to have. This one was actually one of the first ones I found in the shed, and I thought it was an impulse because, you know, I didn't know what they looked like up close because I was only used to seeing them from across the street. But it has never worked properly, so the base, I use the base sometimes. I use it with the, or at least I used to before I lost the nozzle for the plastic Nelson over there. This one here is a Nelson Turbo Heart rotary. Even though it doesn't say Turbo Heart on it, it's still, you know, considered that. It's got the thin knob there. This one also got some problems. The one of the little plastic things for the knob broke off, so now when it's running, it'll click the knob around gradually. So still working on a solution for that, but other than that, it's complete. It's got the washer and the drain plug at the end. So this one also came from the Goodwill along with the QuickSet there. They came together along with that Nelson Beta 2 that I mentioned earlier. So my favorites, I'd say, are of course, this is my absolute favorite in my collection, the Melnor Taiwan metal impulse sprinkler. Once again, I don't think I got a good view of the Taiwan on the counterweight of the arm here. It's got Taiwan. It's got that nice semicircle counterweight, and the trip mechanism and everything works. The Nelson plastic impulse sprinkler was given to me by my neighbors, actually, the same one who owned that. That was as a birthday present. I love the QuickSet as well. Yeah, and the blue ring as well. So that is my sprinkler collection. I hope you enjoyed it. I know this wasn't smoke alarms or fans or anything, but you know, just something different that you probably didn't know that I collected. I'm still on the search for more. I'd love to get more metal impulse sprinklers to compare them to this one, and I need to find a solution to fix this base permanently because it's got some water leaking out of it. But other than that, that is it, and I thank you for watching, and more to come.